These are single-level residuals. This is not multi-level marketing. When you introduced her, you know, maybe you were on 70% at that particular time, so you're going to get 10% of hers added onto yours, an equivalent amount of 10% added onto yours, and 10% plus 70 is 80. But you didn't just bring her in, you brought in somebody else. Bill, 10% off of his, 90. 10% off of John's, 100. 10% off of Fred's, 110, 120, 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000. Or in other words, you can make more than 100% of your gross by duplicating, multiplying, or cloning yourself through sponsoring, and earn the greatest return on invested time in the history of the world in the real estate industry. See, the one problem of being on a 100% system, as many of the desk fees or deal fee companies are, when you wake up in the morning and you're on a 100% system, you know one thing for sure. 100% is the most you can earn all day long. At exit, you can make much more than that. You know, as we've asked audiences, looking through the eyes, and hearts and minds and souls of their families, you know what they've said? There's been over a 95% acceptance ratio right across the entire continent with regard to us being on the right track. But for the most part, most of them, especially the ones that have been around for a while, they've said, you know, I wish it had been here 20 years ago. Now, with our retirement program, once you stop selling real estate, you continue to have that benefit. In other words, for as long as you're retired, you could receive that 7%. So, in other words, our program is enhanceable or improvable after you quit. When we studied all the retirement programs of all the various companies around the world, we found that they were all fixed. Fixed for a period of time or fixed for life. You couldn't change it after you retired. You couldn't come in 3 or 4 years later and say, hey, I want more money. On ours, you can. On ours, you have the opportunity to introduce people into the real estate business, to management, any place that we exist for the rest of your entire life. Then we added 2 more features. We said it's got to be convertible. You come to us and say, well, can I go back? Could I leave, you know, my retirement position and come back in full time? I've got some mental muscles here left, maybe 2 or 3 years, whatever. Is there a way to do that? Yes, there is. How do I do that? You simply come back and put 8, count them, 8 residential transactions together. Once the 8th one has closed, all your 7s automatically go back to 10. Now, it's not retroactive. Remember, we gave the other 3 to your manager. Manager's already spent that money. Okay, but from that point forward, you're now earning 10. So you could come back in full time and increase it back to 10 and go forward and then retire at a later time. So it's convertible. Number 3, it's portable. You're fed up with Hawaii. You want to go to Bermuda. Not a problem. Our software program, and it's an internet-based, centrally controlled software program, keeps an eye on you, and it keeps an eye on everybody that you brought into the corporation. And so consequently, we can mix match your bonuses no matter where you go. So it's totally portable to you. So what have we got? 3 factors with regard to our retirement program. It's enhanceable, it's convertible, and it's portable. Could you do anything with that? Is that better than what you've got right now? I mean, I left one of the most powerful companies in the business, but I had to draw a line in the sand. It did not give me the kind of return that was necessary for myself and my big family by comparison of the value of the product that we were selling to the customer. There just wasn't enough homework done there. It wasn't good enough. And I find that, you know, as we go across the country, that just about everybody feels the same. Isn't it time that somebody in our business did something about the family or thought about realtors' families? And for the most part, most of them have a family of some sort. So we built in a beneficiary program into Exit. And you say, how does it work? Residually. And, oh, what's the percentage? 5%. 5% off the top, paid to your pre-chosen beneficiary. As soon as you sign up with Exit, you select a beneficiary. And the other 5%, where does that go? To the broker that holds your license. We never keep the money, remember. 10% spins through no matter what happens. This means that if there is a problem, and for some reason you're taken out of the picture, that your family will continue to receive residual or perpetual bonuses on the closings of the transactions of every person you've introduced to the system for as long as they stay with the company. So what we've created here is an empathy-oriented company as opposed to an ego-driven company. We've done it on purpose. whereby everybody can work arm in arm, everybody can help each other in the business, the agents can help the brokers in the business, and everybody can create a future where there's never been a future before. That's good from the profitability standpoint of the broker. They're going to hire agents they never thought of ever being able to hire before. And a real estate agent has not only got the safety of a retirement program, but also the safety of death benefits after the fact, all proportionate, directly proportionate to the amount of people that they've brought into the system. Our job at Exit is to outflank the competition from every area of their endeavor. So when we go down the training mode, this pathway, understand one thing, that all of my trainers earn over $500,000 a year doing what they teach you to do. In other words, it's true apprenticeship. They did not read it out of a book. This is what they specialize in, and they cannot have the job of teaching you those things unless they make over $500,000 a year doing that for a living. So you're working with a specialist. And if you say anything that's inappropriate or wrong or perhaps off script, my teacher is right there with you and has you change it right at that particular time, listening very carefully. We're concerned about what you say when you're in front of a customer. So you're taught how to say it, what to say, what's right, what's appropriate. In 2 days, he's rearranged all your psychological furniture. He's got you saying and doing precisely the right things. You are in a group format, so consequently the conditioning process and the reconditioning process was comfortable for you, but now you're confident to be able to go out there and do that. You will double, triple, or quadruple your earnings simply because you now can initiate business where you could never initiate it before.
Something incredible is on the horizon. An innovative and exciting dimension is transforming the real estate industry at a record-breaking pace. It extends far beyond the parameters of earning a top commission. This new and exciting dimension is changing the entire financial perspective in real estate, generating a brand new income stream and compounding your returns on work accomplished. Exit Realty is changing the landscape.
We're the new kid on the block. But guess what? We sold 50% of the regional rights by population for Exit across the United States in 365 days. The biggest DESFI company in the world took 17 years to go from Denver, Colorado to Boston, just across.
Exit is growing at a rapid rate every day. It's the most popular and well-received real estate corporation in the history of the industry, bar none.
Sponsoring bonuses, fill in the gaps between your own closings. Bring in 2 people per year for 5 years, that's 10 people. So that when you go to the island, and I don't care, Barbados, Bermuda, Hawaii, it doesn't matter wherever you're going to retire, when you're there, they're still working and bringing in money, and you're receiving your pension check from Exit.
Individuals outside of the real estate industry, such as mortgage brokers, lawyers, bankers, or even the public at large, can also receive a sponsoring bonus. Ask us how.
Exit is the most highly advertised word in the world. We're more highly advertised than Sony Corporation, General Motors, IBM, or any combination thereof. Our sign shines while our competition's sleeping. 24 hours a day, every place you go, over 1 trillion exit signs strategically located. You can see it for miles. Do the work once, and then get paid over and over and over again. You can make more than 100% of your gross. The ultimate idea that made for the changes that we're instigating into the business came from outside the industry. You can replace yourself, duplicate yourself, clone yourself, any place you go. You've got a future now that has never been there before. Totally flexible. Totally portable. Totally convertible. This is designed to be the biggest in the entire world. Wow. We're not above the crowd. We're above the door. Every corporate door in America.